Welcome back to Jake GTV News. Candace Owens is being hunted by the French First Lady for calling him a dude.
Wow, how have we not been canceled yet?
I have no idea.
Are you not afraid in a earthly, motherly way for the potential consequences of what you're saying? But also, bloody hell, mate, are you not a bit worried that you might get murdered?
There were, for whatever reason, 12 Israeli cell phones on the ground at Utah Valley University the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. This has completely spooked the people that are very high up in government. Now, to be clear, I don't mean that there were 12 VPNs that were switched and routed through Israel on that day. I mean that there were 12 personal cell phone accounts that were opened in Israel, okay? Like you go into Verizon in Tennessee or in Connecticut and you open your phone. I am saying that they opened their phones in Israel, those accounts in Israel, and they were on the ground on September 10th at Utah Valley University when Charlie was shot.
Where is the corroboration? What are we seeing that's indefatigable? What are we seeing in the case of, were Israel involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk? Is there some connection to Israel? Do you think the nationhood of Israel is fundamental in even issues as seemingly diffuse and only really connected through you, and you being the person that's reported on them, as Brigitte Macron's true identity and Charlie Kirk's murder? Do you think these things are connected?
Yes, I think it's all connected. And I think in many ways we already live in this one world government system. Maybe it's two world. But in terms of the West, I don't think there's any difference in the governments. And that's kind of the point that we're making. And maybe why the Charlie Kirk case is so crucial, because it's showing us that, wait, what is the divide here between America and Israel and France, right? I just told people that somebody in the French government alerted me to an assassination attempt. Shouldn't that require a comment from the President of the United States? Shouldn't the President of the United States be forced to make a statement about that? He received that information. Wouldn't you think it was the most viral global story for 3 days, and the White House has chosen not to comment? What does that signal to the population? That it's okay for France to be involved in attempts, that they're, at least if he thought that I was completely making it up and I gave him the evidence and it was made up, he would be required to come out and say, we are looking at that situation and that there's nothing here. There's no evidence of that. They're doing none of that. And that should alarm people. That should very, very much alarm people.
Somebody directly involved in the booking process has confirmed to me that the Egyptians who flew to Provo ahead of the Charlie Kirk assassination were staying at the La Quinta Inn and Suites in Orem, Utah.
If Charlie had died in an accident, I don't think it would have had the same impact, but they chose to publicly execute him.
I don't know. It's in us all, isn't it? I mean, some people shy away from it. Some people, they don't want to talk about grief and terrible things because they think it's sort of off-putting, or sometimes it's too distressing, or it's not that sort of thing. I like going there because it's something you can do that no one else can quite do. No one can play your version of emotions like you. If you do it honestly, then that's as good as it can be. So, And I don't know, I just feel like I want to be braver and more honest. So, you just go there. Just sort of go there. Otherwise, things stay taboo if you don't confront them. So, I've always liked realism, I guess.
Can you explain that to me? Because I don't understand who benefits from, but I also know that whenever I've seen it my whole life, a long gunman, RFK, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, I know that's a lie, so I'm open. So what is it?
So look, I can tell you that from the moment that Charlie got shot, and I can't explain it, and maybe it's because Charlie would tell me all the time that he was going to die young, and I showed those messages, and I just knew that this was big. I knew it was big. I didn't have the players. I certainly didn't suspect Turning Point USA would be, as I believe, involved in a cover-up. And we can talk about what the motives are of that. They could be financial motives. It doesn't necessarily mean they were involved in plotting to kill him. And I've never said that. But I do believe that they have betrayed him since. And I am comfortable saying that today. Because I know that they have told lies. I know that they have withheld information, that if truly you were motivated by goodness and truth, you would come out and you would say it. Like there are people at Turning Point who Charlie texted the night before and said they're going to kill me. Well, if you're trying to figure out who killed Charlie Kirk, wouldn't that be a good thing to come forward with and to the public and say Charlie thought that he was going to be murdered the night before? And they're not doing that. So to me, to not assist that investigation is not something that I'm going to ignore. Also, to not answer basic questions that if I said to you, Russell, where were you when Charlie got shot? You're not going to get defensive and weird. You're just going to, I can tell you where I was. I was sitting planning my next show at the kitchen counter, and they are being very strange about details on that day. It makes me uncomfortable. If someone, the easier task, if the internet thinks that, Mikey McCoy, who was the person who, instantly picked up the phone and walked away when Charlie got shot, who was the chief of staff, if people find that behavior to be suspicious, and I do find it to be not what I would do if a shot went off. Obviously everybody else ran or ducked and he instantly picked up a phone. I would just show my call log and I would be like, guys, this is crazy. Like I called my mom and and so it's the absence of answering and the blaming and the yelling that feels off to people. And I think that's fair. I think spiritually people are sensing, their intuition is coming online and saying, this just doesn't feel right. So you have to ask the question, why lie? And I think that just any lie at all makes me feel uncomfortable because lies are not necessary unless you're covering something up. No matter what the lie is, why do we lie? To cover something up. So that's a fair assessment that they're engaged in some sort of a cover up, whether it's about his legacy, where he was at spiritually. And then you have to ask deeper questions. Why? Sure, like I'm lying when I very lightly in reminiscing about me and Charlie mentioned that, our last conversation.
Hey, everyone. Candace Owens has certainly been a hot topic of conversation over the past couple of months on social media. I would say ever since Charlie Kirk was tragically murdered back in September. And I'm not going to comment on some of her theories and the things that she said about that and about the Macrons and other people. If that's what her thing is, then that's what her thing is. She certainly, seemed to want to become the number one podcaster, so she created a lot of controversy. That's what does it, it seems. But here's what I have to say. Her husband, why would he allow her to do this? Because she is really getting a lot of hate mail. A lot of people are turning on her, really putting her in a situation where people are hating on her. Why would you allow your wife to be put in that position? I would never put my wife in that position, not for social media, not for money, not for anything. To be so hated? I mean, she's out there, she's in public. She's claiming now that the Macrons have, a hit out on her. They want to assassinate her. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about just normal people on social media that have really turned on her and really have spewed hatred out on her. Why would you allow your wife to be put in that position? I hold him fully responsible. I would never put my wife in that position to where people hate on her so much because of what she's doing on social media. I think that's, 100% wrong on his part. And I don't know what their motive is. He's got plenty of money. They don't need money. It was him that I believe caused her to leave the Christian church and become a Catholic. It's still Christianity, but, she turned to Catholicism. He seems to have a lot of pull over her. Why would he put her in jeopardy like that? I hold him 100% responsible if something would have happened to her. Any lunatic could take a shot at her for whatever reason, but she set herself up for it. No one to blame but her, and I hold him responsible. I hope nothing happens to her, but in my view, 100% responsible, not manly, not what a husband should be doing, not one bit.
Also, bloody hell, mate, are you not a bit worried that you might get...
My greatest fear is not getting into heaven because I actually am a Christian, and I question the Christians who lie, who choose to lie because they are so attached to the earthly possessions that they are getting in terms of money. My bigger fear is my children growing up in a world that's run by pedophiles. That terrifies me. And to be clear, I did not go into this consciously. Right.
Yeah.
When I was covering the Brigitte and Emmanuel story, if you thought that I would end up here and suddenly questioning whether or not Brigitte could have been in America on that day, which is where I'm at right now, you're out of your mind. I mean, I literally thought, oh my God, this is so funny. Like,
Just
this is
thought it was
like
funny.
Yes, like this person, like I read the story, and quite literally, this whole thing starts with a Daily Mail article where I saw a headline that Emmanuel Macron denies his wife's a man. This had not broken in the English speaking world. So I was like, what a strange what's going on in France that this president has to come out and deny that his wife's a man? Like, that's funny. And I read the article, and the Daily Mail article was not sufficient in debunking it. It was kind of, and this is obviously ridiculous and crazy, and all of the words. And they're like, there's this one photo or two photos of Brigitte as a child, and I'm like, what do you mean as a child? Like, there should just be tons of photos because she has children. And so then I pivoted to where the rumors came from, and I sat there and I read, and my jaw hit the floor. I was like, what do you mean? There's just no photos for 30 years of somebody's life. This can't be a real thing. And I thought this was so interesting that the implications here for me that I thought were more severe is that the entire media of France would collude to hide this very obvious thing, right? So it was more like, this is funny. And then I get fired from a Daily Wire almost, I think, 2 weeks after covering that story. Covered it in March. I got fired in March of 2024. The next thing I know, I'm fired. I start my new podcast. I get demonetized on YouTube. They're hitting me over speaking about the Brigitte thing again. And come December, I'm getting a cease and desist from the president of France. And then come February, I'm getting a phone call from the president of the United States. And I'm going, what is going on? People kind of had a base assumption that people in France are into some weird stuff. Nobody had an assumption that this could cause an international crisis.
Hello. Pickle's trying to sleep, but I wanted to film her as a thank you to everyone who bought Absolutely Mental Series 2. If you haven't bought Absolutely Mental Series 2, you can. If you haven't bought 1 or 2, you can buy them both at a bargain price. If you haven't bought any of them and don't intend to, thanks anyway for following and looking at my cat. It's nearly a year since we rescued her. Isn't it, Pickle? Pickle, you can't do this. You're live, and you just look. That's a do not disturb. Oh, isn't she lovely? Got a gig tonight, and I Pickle. The Palladium again. Supernature coming along. Lovely. I think it's my best, but that's not for me to say. What are you going to do tonight, Pick? Just sort of chill. I can't believe how rude you are, Pickle. There's people tuning in here from all over the world. And look, I was going to do, I did a thank you on Instagram. Then because it's a cat and me talking over it. So it's not annoying. Anyway, I've got a low battery as well, so I'm badly prepared here. Oh, Pickle. Still trying to sort out international travel and gigs around the world. I can't stand having to cancel. I'd never cancelled a gig. Been on stage, dying of flu, bad back. I've taken
private jets and helicopters. And it's so frustrating. And there's a few more that are in jeopardy because of international travel and visas and what we're allowed to do at the venue and stuff. And it's so frustrating because people have bought tickets. They've had tickets for like a year and a half. And it breaks my heart. But if I have to cancel any more, there's not many to go, but there will be more. It's getting to that point where you don't want people to waste their money on flight and hotel. So I apologise in advance, but just know there was nothing I could do about it, and that I'll come next year, even if it's a different show. And I'm so sorry. But yeah, you can watch this one on Netflix, and then I'll come with a new one if I don't come to your city. Is the show tonight cancelled? Someone said, no. This is international. This is like certain countries are still. I don't know. Oh, yeah, that I know. The US is I think the US is the worst. We've been trying to put gigs into like bigger venues, like a half capacity, like But it's just we're doing everything we can. It's only a few. All the UK ones are going ahead. So yeah, just apologies. But it's not my fault. Of course it's fucking idiots in charge that can't get their act together, changing their mind at the last minute. But yeah, it's gutting. It's really annoying having to do it. I still, right to the last minute, you think, maybe I could come into this country and get into that way and then do this, and we could move it to this venue, and we've just tried everything, and sometimes they just won't let you do it. Either I can't get into the country with a visa, or it's so frustrating, and it's still not over, and still, people are still arguing about who's allowed to travel and what you have to do, and then you can be stuck there in a hotel room for 10 days or something. I can't wait for it all to be over. What a life this cat has got. She doesn't know that. But yeah, if I can't come to your town this year, I'll come next year. Anyway, in the meantime, watch Afterlife again. That's coming soon. Thanks for downloading Absolutely Mental. And be nice to animals. Tatty bye, everyone. Tatty bye.
I hope you're bearing up with all this shit. It's not even all this shit, is it? It's all the uncertainty. That's what really gets me down. Maybe I don't know, maybe I've got some sort of OCD, but even in normal times, if I've planned everything, if something goes wrong or someone says, I can't, I'll go, cancel it. Cancel it all. I'm never doing anything ever again. If I book a flight, right, and they go, it's an hour delayed, right, never, yeah, you're never going to work again. Just everything's up in the air. You can't look forward to anything. You can't. Do you know the worst thing is as well? Apart from the pandemic and the devastation and the deaths and the strain on the health service and people losing their livelihoods and that, the worst thing is the in charge do what they want. And you know what? I can. I see all these people saying all the parties they were having and what all the stuff they were doing, and people saying, that was the day I couldn't see my mum in hospital, or I couldn't go to my dad's funeral, and because the people in charge, the posh, privileged people in charge, were acting like Charlie Sheen. I mean, really rubbing salt in the wound. And as I say, I don't get political, but they're all shit.
To pay tribute to Jeremy Corbyn, who's a friend as well as a colleague.
You wouldn't call Jeremy Corbyn a friend?
No. We have to make the case for freedom of movement. We don't want open borders. Freedom of movement has gone and it's not coming back.
Cutting off power, cutting off water.
Well, I think that Israel does have that right. I was not saying that Israel had the right to cut off water, food, fuel or medicine. Wounded by the media, the Sun in this city, a hurt for this city. And I certainly won't be giving any interviews to the Sun during the course of this campaign.
Did you write an article for some newspaper the other day? Surely that's not going to gain you any support across the Northwest.
Would you write for them again, Sir Keir?
I would do, yeah.
Can you guarantee that under your leadership, the 2019 Labour commitments to nationalise water, energy, rail, the Royal Mail, they'll all be in Labour's next election manifesto?
I've made that commitment.
Will you nationalise the big six energy companies, yes or no?
No.
No, you will not.
By the Home Secretary was the wrong decision, and I think it was a rushed decision.
When are we going to stop taking went to Eton as a qualification to run the country? I mean, now. So that's why I'm doing this as well, because I've noticed all around, you know, there's a lot of annoyance and frustration, totally justified as well, misinformation, anger. But I think the next pandemic is going to be like anxiety and depression, you know. God knows how it affects like teenagers who have had their, you know, some of the best years of their life sort of taken away. And college, I didn't go to college to study. You know what I mean? 3 years living at home, doing things on Zoom. That's not my idea. That's not my idea of the college experience. So, as I say, I can't complain. I'm definitely in a privileged position, but I do notice. I have noticed that it's getting a lot of people down. So, and this, you know, helps me. Like, when you can't do stuff, you think, well, I've got to do something. We're built like that. We've got to do something. You know, it's So this helped me doing this. Just, you know, talking bollocks, answering questions from cats and dogs. Yeah, my world tour was postponed for a year, but I did talk to a lot of cats and dogs. Yeah, okay. Well, I hope you're bearing up and
Describe yourself as working class. Sir Keir, define working class.
No, working class is families that work for their living, earn their money through going out to work every day, not through other means.
Middle classes do that?
Well, working class families have the ordinary hope to get on in life. I mean, this has been a story.
Don't middle classes have that?
Yeah, of course they do. Of course they do.
So what's the distinction?
People will say to me, "Well, look here, you've come a long way.
Yeah, but you went to state school.
Yeah, but that is the ordinary hope of the working class, which is to have a decent education, to get a decent secure job, to get a car, to get have a nice holiday, to have
a house. Isn't that the middle class too, Sir Keir? Everything you just listed? No?
It is. Yeah, it is. And that's why many people go on their life journey from what you might call working class to middle class.
I hope there's no kids. I hope there's no kids watching, because I've said the C word as well. I apologise. People are eating their tea. Fucking slagging off the government, Christmas, just life in general. Welsh Felix, what do you want for Christmas? Besides a working jetpack? Yeah, still number one. Still number one. Just off. Whenever I say to Jane, "Oh, there's a new drone you can sit in," right? it's £1 million, but she just goes dead immediately. Just like she didn't find me wrapped round a pylon. He died. When did he get this? She'll go, this morning. He's dead. Yeah, I know. I knew he would be. I told him. I said, I knew when he was going to say he's going to spend £1 million on it, I said that he'd be dead by this afternoon. And there he is, hanging. You know, that's number one, the jetpack now. Peace and quiet, more and more. Peace and quiet. Just want peace and quiet. That's what, I just want peace and quiet. I mean, to the extent that, I don't know, I just want, I want to know what I'm doing. When I know I've got a night in, or I know everything that's happening, right? I know when I've got to work and when I've got to relax. And then if I've got, oh great, like Netflix, I've got a night off, a bottle of wine, Netflix, this. Someone calls and says, oh, we're in town, do you want to do dinner? Oh, fucking hell. I wish I was dead. Only death can get me out of this. I don't want anything really, because peace and quiet, yeah, peace and quiet. Everyone to be happy, everyone to have a good Christmas. More and more now, you worry like other people's misery spoils it for you. That's an age thing, isn't it? When you can be happy and then you can see one thing like, oh, like a terrible fucking story on the news or a bit of animal cruelty, it just ruins your fucking day, doesn't it? You think, oh, I can't enjoy myself now because I've got to sort that out. I've got to save that dog. That's why I do everything, peace and quiet. I want it right. If I do that, I can have peace and quiet. More and more doing something with my money, charity work, doing something, you know, seeing it make a difference. I think that's why you should give to small charities as well, because you see the difference. It means something to them, and you see results. And I give to big charities as well, but it sort of gets lost. Like even the admin costs. Whereas if you know a local charity and they're a small sort of concern, that pound, the whole pound, goes to helping the cats and dogs or kids or whatever. So that I like that. That's good. I feel like I've done something. Peace and quiet. I love peace and quiet now. For about a minute, then I get bored. I might have some condition. I want to do whatever I'm not doing, unless it's someone else's idea. Then I want you to carry on doing what I was doing. Oh God. This is like a therapy session, isn't it? You are my therapists, and you're not qualified. I hope this is good for you as well. I don't just do it for me. I think people are threatened by comedians. I've always said this, like, politicians can stand up and say the most awful things and mean it, whereas a comedian says something and he doesn't mean it, and it almost gets more grief. Like, people are more annoyed that you joke about terrible things than say terrible things and actually mean them. I don't know why that is. Maybe they're jealous that we have such a platform and we can say things that some people are scared to. I don't know why, but I think that's the worst thing. Just people concerned all the time about what you've got to say. Yeah. But apart from that, it's all good. It's great. It's the best job in the world. So no complaints from me. And if I have got a complaint, I'll make a joke about it. So yeah, the days are gone now where I do a serious tweet or do a serious interview, and because it's all bad faith. It's horrible. I try not to do any interviews, particularly press now, because they've always got an angle. You're there for different reasons. I'm there to plug a thing. They're there to catch me out or show me up or cause controversy or clickbait. You know, even a great interview, sometimes the copy editor do a controversial, you know, headline, and it just sort of ruins it. So that's great having your own platform like this. So what I want. I'm usually talking to dogs. I'm not sure I'm making the most of my global platform. Maybe I should be running for office. That's how I use my platform, on a shitty chair that's creaking with a frozen shoulder. But you know me, I don't complain. This is fucking brilliant, you cunts. C-U-N-D, you cunts. You twaps. So, and I don't think, what were they couldn't say anything about that, could they? Even those complaints. So I say fucking cunt, you fucking cunt. I was too close to that one. I have to, shouldn't do that one live. Well, newsreaders, when they try and say Jeremy Hunt, they say Jeremy Cunt. So, buy Dutch Barn so I can afford to make a shitty advert on telly calling people fucking cunts. That's worth it, isn't it? You spend 30 quid. Actually, I think it's 25 at Waitrose. It's all an advert, this, isn't it? It's like the worst infomercial in the world. Right.
Today we publish a white paper on immigration, a strategy absolutely central to my plan for change that will finally take back control of our borders and close the book on a squalid chapter for our politics, our economy and our country. Take back control. Everyone knows that slogan. And everyone knows what it meant on immigration. Or at least, that's what people thought. Because what followed from the previous government, starting with the people who used that slogan, was the complete opposite. Between 2019 and 2023, even as they were going round our country, telling people with a straight face that they would get immigration down, net migration quadrupled until in 2023 it reached nearly 1 million. That's about the population of Birmingham, our second largest city. That's not control, it's chaos.
I think the bigger you are, the more you can say whatever you want. I think we're coming out of it now, but there's been a good few years of ordinary people not being able to say what they want. And some, you know, actors and comedians and artists get in trouble, but I suppose I'm at the stage where I can ignore it and still do and say what I want. So that's good. I mean, free speech is amazing anyway, isn't it? But to have such a platform, that's good. People are always after you, aren't they?
And look, they must answer for themselves. But I don't think that you can do something like that by accident. It was a choice made even as they told you, told the country, they were doing the opposite. A one-nation experiment in open borders, conducted on a country that voted for control. Well, no more. Today, this Labour government is shutting down the lab. The experiment is over. We need to make the wider case on immigration. We welcome migrants. We don't scapegoat them. Low wages, poor housing, poor public services are not the fault of migrants and people who've come here. They're political failure. Political failure. So we have to make the case for the benefits of migration, the benefits of free movement. I want people in this country to be able to go and work abroad, in Europe. And I want people in Europe to be able to come and continue to work here. I want families to be able to live together, whether that's in Europe or here. And I want people in this country, in the United Kingdom, to be able to go and study in Europe, just as they can now, and people in Europe to be able to come and study here. We have to make the case for freedom of movement, and we have to make it strongly.
People like US radio host Alex Jones didn't just sit back. The clip erupted across X, TikTok and Telegram channels, with some users accusing the leaders of drug use in broad daylight. And logic? It was found nowhere remotely in sight. Moscow's foreign ministry also amplified the controversy, calling Europe's future in the hands of drugged figures.
Bit of Steely Dan, Barrytown, off Pretzel Logic. Jane got me some original vinyl of Pretzel Logic for one of my birthday presents, so that's why I'm playing that. And that's what this is about. Not my birthday, because that was... I'm doing this to thank people for my presents, because the Bollocks gang got together and above and beyond the Call of Duty. I mean, they shouldn't have done it at all, really. Or you. It's you I'm talking to. I do these things to thank you for stuff, and then you thank me for doing them. So this is sort of, I've got some questions, which I can't get to all the questions anyway, but I'm using this to thank people. So I'm going to get straight to it, right? So I've got loads of different boxes, all from the general Bollocks gang. Anyone just tuning in for the first time, what's the Bollocks gang, right? It's you lot. It's, if you listen to this shit, you are one of the Bollocks gang. Happy birthday, you miserable little... So it's from the usual suspects: Bella, Freya, Gunnar and Andy, Joey, Leopold and Loveday, Leslie, Mark, Ollie Pickle Fan Club, Ollie Afterlife, the old laughing lady, Otis the Parrot, Scarlett, Selena, Susie, Titch, Bestest, Vampire Squirrel, Welsh Felix. I mean, I'm going to be saying those names a lot today, but in that particular hall was a lovely book of languages, a collapsible bucket, because I'm going to end up in a bucket, obviously, and some lovely chill out aromatherapy stuff I think that's to stop me using bubble bath, which is brilliant. I've got some lovely vegan chocolates from melon, toffee and fudge. I would have eaten those immediately, but I was saving them to show you, to thank you. So, I'm going to forget some people. Oh, what's the big card? Hold on. Oh, God. Right. Well, that wasn't the big card. I think well, that's Mal Toffee fudge. And the humans, Amy and Michael. What's this? This is from Susie Hope. Look at this lovely thing. Look. This is a thing with all the bollocks going in there. I mean, you can't see it. You can't appreciate how amazing this is. But it's a lovely book with everyone in it. Look at this. I mean, the effort. the Bollocks gang again. I mean, they're all in there basically. You could imagine. Just do. Oh God! From Trey and Fur Angel, Susie Hope, sent by them. But this is all from the Bollocks gang. Look at this. Look what they did here. I mean, this is pretty incredible. Same lot, innit? The same dudes, the same gang. There they all are. Titch and Rubes, Gunnar, Susie, Otis, Olympic, Miss Emma, Gordon, Ralph, Wilf and Leslie, Pax and Welsh Felix. If I've forgotten one of your names, you know I'm including you. But look, anyway, look at this. Look at these amazing things they have done. Nothing's as good if you don't share it. Little quote from Afterlife. And so beautifully done. Oh my God, I'm a very lucky boy. I can't get over it, how thoughtful this is. Should I ask a question as I'm going along to Ollie Comic Strip? If I had to lose one of the following things, the ability to enjoy the fun things in life, the ability to enjoy music, or the ability to enjoy food, including wine. Well, I couldn't not enjoy the fun things in life. That is what life's all about. Then music. I assume I can still eat food and drink wine, and it still does what I just won't enjoy it. I used to be like that anyway. I didn't really enjoy food. Till I was like 18, till I was in my 20s, I thought food was just giving you fuel for going out and having fun. So I'd do that. I'd lose the ability to enjoy food because I could still enjoy everything else in life. I'm putting these away carefully. Sorry, guys. I know this isn't as entertaining as usual, but I have got to thank anyone because I'm just over the moon. I'm blown away. No one else gets this. I always say that George Clooney doesn't get the abuse that I get, but then he doesn't get all the presents either. Right. Oh, and this is lovely as well. Again, I should have organised this. But, this from Lee of Holden Loveday and obviously all the gang, and a couple of things from the guy who the Waltons was based on, and so it's great that you've remembered all the things that I've ever talked about and said. What else is in there? Something from my bunion, a bunion sleeve, some vitamin D, some orthopedic things. So good. Some catnip, some drugs for the cat. I've kept them away from her, but she knows something's going on because she kept sniffing around the box all the time. Book Charlotte's Web, some shot glasses from Walton's Mountain. I mean, I'm sure I've forgotten something, but it's just amazing. So thank you to everyone, the whole Bollocks gang. I hope I've mentioned everyone's name once. And also got some balloons as well from Mel Toffee and Fudge. So I'll ask some questions so we don't run out of time, shall I? Titch, did we really land on the moon? Why haven't we been back since? Because right, yes, we did. We landed on the moon. Why would they lie? Why would they fake that, Titch? Well, why don't they just if they were going to fake it, say we landed on Mars. We landed on the moon. I'm pretty sure of that. Why did we go back? Nothing there. Nothing there. That's my answer. Gunnar, you and David Bowie in Extras is such a momentous moment for TV. Looking back at your career, what accomplishment do you think? Do you still not believe you're a part of? Well, that is up there, isn't it? Writing a song with your hero. Getting asked to write The Simpsons. Getting asked to do the Golden Globes. I think that might be it. I still think that might be it, though. Writing a song with David Bowie. Yeah. Surreal, isn't it? And then a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That's mental. That's mad, isn't it? That's the... Yeah. First one to get that was Dean Martin. They must be running out of people. So we started with Dean Martin. Right, this year's... There's no one left. Well, what about that fat bloke? Yeah, okay. Good one to him. Bella, I've been off my stick game recently, and I failed to find any really good ones worthy of being carried home. We know you like a good stick, so do you have any really good tips for finding really good sticks? Well, I mean, you've got to be on the lookout. And what I'd say is, don't just look at the stick as it is, look at the potential of the stick. So you might see a stick and go, oh, it's too big. Cut it in half, right? You'll go, oh, it's destroyed this and there's too much bark on it. Take the bark off, okay? So look at the potential, look within the stick. Like, when Michelangelo saw a big lump of rock, he didn't go, that's boring, a big lump of rock. He saw David, didn't he? He thought, oh, I can make that into a man. A tiny little... That was his first thought, I think. He thought, well, look at this big rock. What are you doing? Making a man. Oh, right. What sort of man? Just a handsome man. A tiny little... Right? Okay. Michael, Mr. Michelangelo, have you got a little... No. I'm just... This man. So look at the potential of the stick, Bella. Joey, I'm 9, so in human years, I'm not far off 60. Who do you think looks best for their age? So there's a beautiful picture of Joey and a bath pic of me, right? So I know what he's done there. He's tried to suggest that he looks better, but he's not in the bath. So I don't think he'd look his best if he was in the bath. I saw Ollie fall in the bath once, right? When she was a little kitten, I was in the bath, and she got up to have a look and slipped, and it was like a fucking cartoon. She slipped in the water and went like that, and she was out. And then she just was in the corner, like looking at me, and she looked like a little fucking drowned rat. So, Joey, I mean, you've got a picture of yourself looking great there, but I don't think you'd look so good if you fell in the bath, is what I'm saying. Dougal, bonjour, monsieur. Bonjour, monsieur Ricky. You'll awaken to discover you have been wrongfully convicted of a crime. On the way to jail, what story would you invent to tell the other inmates to make you look tough and ensure you don't fear dropping the soap in the shower? I just wouldn't shower. I just stink. Make sure no one will come. Like I've got to worry now about people coming near me in prison. I think I'm pretty safe now. Like they all come out and they go, "Oh, some new place." Have a look. I go, "Oh, fucking hell." No, you're all right, mate. You're safe. So what would I do? Well, hold on. I'm assuming. But if I was wrongfully convicted of something, they go hear about Ricky Gervais. He got could I make something up? I'm assuming that I'm not. They don't know who I am. Like, I'm not famous. They don't know who I am. I'm just a bloke. What would I do if I was just a bloke? I'd say I was a hitman for the mafia, because that's a double whammy, isn't it? Not only do I say I'm connected, but I'm like, so I'm scary even within the mob, and they deem me. I just say, yeah, I was a hitman. I can't think of a scarier thing to say. So yeah, Dougal. Stupid question. Me going to jail for a crime I didn't commit. Scarlett. It must be amazing editing Afterlife 3, bringing the story to life with all the amazing characters, especially Auntie the dog, who plays Brandy. Do you have a favourite part of the editing process? Well, yeah. Auntie is involved in one of them. I've done a lovely little thing, a little special tribute within the thing to Auntie. No spoilers. I think my favourite part of the edit is finally putting the music on and making everything fit in, because it's sort of, it's chicken and egg. So you plan it for a song and you do it, then you put the song on, then you have to make it fit, and back and forth. You might have to edit the music or edit the thing. So I'd say it's putting the music on. It just elevates it. Tony, I just accidentally hit and hurt my elbow walking around the house, then instantly called the door frame as if it was its fault. Do you do things like that? Also, do you think you'll be an even bigger hypochondriac? I don't think so. I don't think I could get worse. In fact, I think I'm getting better, because even though I'm closer to death, it's fairer. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I was 18 and I went to the doctor, I thought, oh, I'm gonna. I go, this is so unfair. But now I'm going, you know what I mean? I'm not so angry at the cosmos. So, yeah. Do I bump? No, if I bump into someone, or the first thing I think of is, whose fault is that? I'd love to blame someone. So I'd love someone. It's usually me. Like, who left that fucking cupboard? It was me. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you trip on the pavement, whose fucking fault is that? Council. It's never mine. So no, I don't blame the inanimate object. But if it's someone's fault, it instantly annoys me. Even the weather. I think, who can I blame about the fucking weather? Is there anyone who told me not to bring out an umbrella? Oh dear. Daniel, I know you're getting old now. Brilliant. What do you think you'll do next after Supernature Tour is finished? More stand-up, TV or film? Definitely more stand-up. I can't wait to finish this one, because it, with a pandemic and getting that. And Netflix already bought the next one. I can't wait to do that, because every time I think I can be even braver and, So definitely stand-up. In fact, someone asked me, I don't think we'd get to it, but someone asked me if I had to give one thing up, or if I could only do one thing out of writing, directing, acting and stand-up, what would it be? It would be stand-up, because it's all of them. So definitely, I want to do another stand-up. I think I want to do stand-up. It's the standing up bit that's the problem now. I've even thought that maybe my next stand-up tour I could sit down. I don't think people would care. I'm not Lee Evans. I don't jump around. I don't do backflips or dance or sing a song. So I could just come out, say thanks very much, and sit down in a nice armchair. I mean, Dave Allen used to sit down. Yeah, he was a stool and he was upright. But I might fall asleep, particularly if I'm drinking. Because when I drink and I'm standing up, you sort of, you're sweating it out and stuff. If I was sitting in a chair, I think I'd drink more. And then, like, fucking granddad from only foot. What if it was a commode? So I can't. Please welcome to the stage, Ricky Gervais. I come out maybe in a mobility thing. I come out like that, and that just maybe just stay on that, or it just sort of tips me into an armchair, and that armchair is also a commode. So I could be sort of telling jokes and having a little wee or something and a drink. So I wouldn't have to worry about, because sometimes on stage I think, oh, I better not drink too much because I've got to jump in the car and I might need a wee. Whereas if I was doing stand-up and drinking and weeing, I mean, that is the best worlds for me. You got to have an ambition, haven't you? So definitely more stand-up. Definitely more. I want to do another series. I love TV. I thought I had to drop one of that. The least likely is more film, because films are what they used to be, and you put all you film for like 8 weeks and it's just an hour and a half. Whereas TV, you can. It's different. But out of all those, definitely more stand up. Probably more TV. Louise, hi Ricky. I'd like to ask you about the Supernature tour. There was some very controversial topics discussed in the warm-ups. Will everything make it into the proper shows, and can Netflix choose or remove sections, or do they have to show the whole thing? Well, I hope they make it. The reason they wouldn't make it is because they're not good enough, or it's too long. Like, Humanity was 86 minutes long live, and I had to cut it down to between 60 and 70, and they let me have it at 76. So it was already longer than specials are meant to be, and I cut 10 minutes. So I don't think Netflix would ever make me cut anything unless I was breaking some sort of broadcast law, which I don't. I don't think they do it because they're scared of controversy or getting cancelled. And sometimes I lose stuff because I've already done a joke about that thing, or it's too long. There's some routines that are fun, but I haven't worked out how long they are versus how funny the punchline is. So do you know what I mean? So you just want the best, tightest, most laughs. Also, I want a bit of a narrative. I don't just want a string of the funniest bits, because I want people to go away with, oh, that whole hour felt like something. Do you know what I mean? You want it to be more than the sum of its parts. So all those things determine how long it is, what goes and what stays. But Netflix have never told me, they've never said you've got to take that joke out because it's too dangerous or whatever. That's never happened. But I'll take that if it's not. It's just if it doesn't feel right. Bird on a mission. I hope you had a fantastic birthday. My question is, are we born with empathy, or do we learn it from our parents, peers? And why do some people have none? Could it be an abnormality in the brain? Well, I think it is, because I think there's some fetal development. Like if the mother's like an alcoholic or a drug addict, it can affect the development of the kid's brain, and they can be born without sort of empathy. So it's definitely neurological as well. Having said that, everything being equal, and we're all born the same, you certainly learn kindness as well, or the opposite. So I think it's a bit of both. But I'll ask Sam Harris that on my next phone call. Bird on a mission. Oh no, that was Bird on a mission. This is Leopold and Loveday. Why does the way we perceive time change as we age, and the way we experience the passage of time? Is it the same for animals? No, I don't think animals think. I've only got a couple of years left, like we do. Well, I suppose time is relative. Time is relative, isn't it? If you're doing something you hate, pain that lasts for a couple of seconds feels like fucking hell ages, and doing something you enjoy is over in no time at all, isn't it? I suppose also, like now, well, everyone, but wherever you are in life, each day is a higher percentage of the rest of your life that you've got left, isn't it? Soon, one day, that day is going to be 100% of what I've got left, and working backwards. And we don't know what that is. We don't know what percentage we've got left. So, we better enjoy it and be kind to each other, like you lot are to me. What a very lucky boy I am. Well, I hope I've mentioned everyone at least once. I think I've shown the majority of all the gifts. I've answered most of the questions from the gang. Thanks again. It was, I think, the best birthday ever. Don't do it again, though. That was for my 60th. Don't spend your money on me anymore. You can spend it on things like this, for example, where all the proceeds of this book, and it's brilliant, go to All Dogs Matter. And this book, I think, is brilliant. It's the questions that Bella asked me, and I answered over the time here. There's little pickle. Ollie's in there. And look, there's me and Bella collecting sticks. I'm going to be horrified if I've forgotten someone. But you know I'm thinking of you, whoever you are. If your name wasn't called out on any of these things, I have seen your name, and I really appreciate it. So, especially whoever called me a miserable. Thanks, gang. What a joy. So, yeah, thanks for following. Buy question time. Buy a little Ricky bag from All Dogs Matter. Be nice to animals. Tatty bye, everyone. Tatty bye.